16-year-old Maya Brooks stood in front of her noisy classroom, holding a small paper card with shaking hands. Today was Career Hero Day, and every student had to talk about someone who inspired them. Most kids chose singers, athletes, or famous actors, but Maya chose someone different, someone real. She took a deep breath and said softly, "My hero is my dad. He works for NASA." The class went silent for 2 seconds, and then half the room burst into laughter. Some students covered their mouths, some whispered things under their breath, and a few even smirked like they already knew she was lying. Only Maya stood still, her eyes calm but her heart racing. Her teacher, Mr. Daniels, walked toward her desk. He was tall, strict, and known for treating Maya harder than the others. He tapped the table with his long ruler and said loudly, "Maya, stop lying. NASA does not hire people like your father." The room froze. Everyone knew what he meant. Everyone felt the sting of those words. Maya's throat tightened, but she didn't back down. "I'm not lying. My dad is working on a mission right now." Mr. Daniels narrowed his eyes. "Last warning. Tell the truth, or you get detention for a week." The class murmured. Some students felt bad. Most were waiting for drama. Maya looked at her shoes, remembering her father's voice in her mind. "If you tell the truth, don't ever bow your head." So she lifted her chin. "I am telling the truth." Before the teacher could reply, the classroom intercom suddenly crackled. A deep static sound filled the room. Then the office secretary's voice echoed through the speakers. "Attention staff. A special visitor from NASA has arrived. Please prepare the hallway." The entire class turned to Maya at the same time. Her hands fell to her sides. Her heart stopped. She whispered, "Dad?" Mr. Daniels scoffed loudly. "NASA is not coming to see you. This is some school event. Don't embarrass yourself more than you already have." But then heavy metallic footsteps echoed in the hallway. Thunk, 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 like someone wearing armor, or a full spacesuit. Students leaned out of their seats. Someone gasped. Another student whispered, "What is that sound?" The lights flickered for a moment, then a deep, mechanical voice echoed from the hallway. "Where is Maya Brooks?" The classroom went dead silent. Mr. Daniels' face turned white. He muttered under his breath, "That can't be real." But the footsteps got louder, closer, heavier. Maya stood frozen, her heartbeat pounding in her ears. Suddenly, the classroom door slid open, hissing like an airlock. A tall figure stepped inside, the metallic suit shining under the classroom lights, the NASA patch glowing blue on the chest plate. That every student gasped. Maya's lips trembled, because the man in the suit lifted his helmet, and it was her father. When Commander Elijah Brooks lifted his helmet, the classroom erupted into shock. Some students gasped, others leaned back like they had just seen a superhero walk out of a movie screen. The metallic suit hummed softly, tiny blue lights blinking across his chest panel. Maya stared, unable to move. Her father's eyes locked onto her, first warm, steady, proud. Then his expression changed. His jaw tightened. He turned slowly toward Mr. Daniels. The teacher tried to smile, but his lips shook like he couldn't control them. "See, we didn't expect." Elijah raised one hand, and the room fell silent immediately. "I'm here because someone called my daughter a liar." A ripple of tension moved through every student. Mr. Daniels swallowed hard. I didn't know she was telling the truth. Children exaggerate sometimes." Elijah stepped forward. The floor vibrated under the weight of the suit. Thud, thud, thud. Each step sounded like a warning. "Sir," Elijah said, voice calm but sharp enough to cut air, "Maya doesn't lie. And you didn't question her. You judged her." A couple of students glanced at each other uneasily. One whispered, "He dead." "This teacher? Dead?" Maya's fingers trembled at her sides. She had never seen her father look this serious. Then something unexpected happened. Elijah tapped a glowing device on his wrist. Seist, a blue hologram burst into the air above him. It showed Earth from orbit, clouds drifting, oceans shimmering, live satellite feed. The whole room gasped like they forgot how to breathe. "Mission Control is watching right now," Elijah said. "They're monitoring my suit and my daughter's school." The teacher staggered backward. "Why, you didn't need to involve NASA," Elijah interrupted him. "I already talked to the school board before landing." The entire class gasped again. Someone dropped their phone. Even the hallway outside went silent. Maya blinked fast. She felt overwhelmed, shocked, protected in a way she didn't expect. But her father wasn't finished. He took another step toward Mr. Daniels, leaning in so close that the glowing NASA emblem reflected off the teacher's terrified eyes. "When a young black girl says her father works for NASA," Elijah said quietly, "you believe her. You don't laugh. You don't humiliate her. You don't assume she's lying." Mr. Daniels stuttered something, but the sound never formed into words. The students stared at Elijah like he was the most powerful man alive. Then Elijah turned to Maya. His voice softened. "Sweetheart, did you cry?" Maya nodded once, unable to hide it. Elijah touched the side of her cheek, gently with his gloved hand, the metal surprisingly warm. "You didn't deserve that." The class watched, silent and emotional. Suddenly, the suit beeped loudly. A small compartment on Elijah's shoulder opened and a tiny NASA drone floated out, buzzing softly like a robotic firefly. Students gasped again. The drone projected a video onto the classroom. while Maya is a little girl, sitting in a NASA simulator with her father, smiling proudly. Her classmates stared in disbelief. Mr. Daniels covered his face in shame, and Maya finally smiled, because this moment was only the beginning. The drone's hologram faded into soft blue light, leaving the classroom in a stunned silence. Every student kept looking from Maya to her father, unsure if they should clap, breathe, or simply stay frozen. Even the hallway outside had gone quiet, as if the whole school was holding its breath. Commander Elijah Brooks stepped forward, his heavy space boots making slow, controlled thuds on the floor. He turned toward Mr. Daniels again, but this time he didn't raise his voice. His calm was scarier. "Mr. Daniels," he said quietly, "today could have been a normal school day, but you turned it into a moment my daughter will never forget." Mr. Daniels' hands shook at his sides. I didn't mean harm. Elijah cut him off gently, but firmly. "You meant exactly what you said. And children hear more than your words. They hear what you think about them." The class stared down at their desks, guilt and discomfort filling the room. One boy whispered to his friend, "Man, I didn't know he was this deep." Elijah tapped a button on his wrist, and the drone projected another image. This time, it was a live video feed from the outside of Earth's orbit stars, sparkling like diamonds. Gasps filled the room. "This," Elijah said, "is where I was 2 hours ago, and yet I came here, because my daughter needed me." Maya's eyes filled with tears. Not sad tears. Strong ones. Her father continued, his voice echoing with quiet power. "Every one of you carries potential bigger than this planet, but potential dies where prejudice lives." Mr. Daniels lowered his head. He looked smaller now, softer. "I'm sorry, Maya," he whispered. "I judged you unfairly." The class turned toward Maya. She swallowed hard. It was her moment. "I didn't want to make trouble," she said softly. "I just wanted to talk about my dad. I thought that was okay." Her voice cracked on the last word. It hit the room harder than anything Elijah had said. A girl from the back raised her hand and said, "Maya, I think your dad is the coolest person I've ever seen." Others nodded, some smiling with genuine respect. Elijah placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder. "I didn't come here to embarrass your teacher," he said. "I came to show something important." He opened a small panel on the side of his suit. Inside was a silver mission patch marked Beta 13 Classified Mission. The class gasped again. "This patch," Elijah said, "is from the mission where I almost didn't make it home." Maya was the first face I saw after landing. She held my hand and told me I was safe. He placed the patch gently into Maya's hand. "You earned this more than I did." The room erupted, students clapping, cheering, some even standing. Mr. Daniels wiped tears from his eyes. Elijah lifted Maya's backpack with one arm and nodded toward the door. "Come on, sweetheart, let's go home." As they walked out together, the students parted like a path forming for royalty, and one boy whispered exactly what the whole school now believed. She wasn't lying. She just had a father too legendary for us to imagine.